So I really think that we have a great opportunity to elect a good mayor coming up, and it's up to you. You know, the National Civic League since 1949 has been selecting a city that is a city that's been working for the best of America. And 2 times Fresno has won that achievement. And I think it's time we win another one, a 3rd time. So let's get a mayor and let's get the city council all working together and get us to that level where everybody could be proud, proud of and get crime reduced. Crime has been tearing us up. It's been terrible. The time has come that we all have to get involved in politics. Many people just stay home and they don't want to get involved. A lot of people that I talk to say they don't know nothing about politics. While my position is, if you don't know anything about politics, somebody else is making that decision for you. And so it's imperative that you take back the power, take the power for the politicians. Go out there and get involved and let your opinion be known. Call in 559-442-1680. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know whether or not Jerry Dyer deserves to be our mayor. I don't think so. I think it would be a big mistake. I think it'll be a black eye for Fresno. So join me in this conversation. Trust me, I'm going to listen to you. I'm not the only one talking here. You can be talking too, and that's very, very vital. It's very vital that we hear from you. We hear from the people that need to be heard from, and that's you. You're the person that's very, very important to know. So if you have a comment, I'd like to hear from you. Anyway, we've got listeners from all the way from Oregon. We have proud Trump supporters. Thank you, one and all. I'm a Trump supporter too. I'm a conservative. I want to get more conservatives elected to the local, state, and national positions. 2020 is going to be vital. 2020 is going to be a very, very important time for America. We have to go out there and take back the House of Representatives. Nancy Pelosi must be defeated. And the way we do that is we get very, very involved in this process. We don't let the Democrats take control of it. We don't let the media take control of it. We have to take control of it. We have to take back that House so we can get people's job done. The other deal is if we can get 60 U.S. senators as Republicans, boy, it'll be really good. We'll be able to get a lot of stuff accomplished. That's going to be very, very vital. And the other thing, we cannot afford to see Donald Trump lose this election. He's doing very, very good. President Trump has done an excellent job. I give him an A+. He has got 2 U.S. Supreme Court justices in there, and that's very, very cool. That is very, very cool. And I think that that's going to be his big legacy. He's going to have a lot of other accomplishments, but to me, having 2 more U.S. Supreme Court justices, I think that's awesome. So, it's up to us. Let's go out there and let's get that to happen. Let's help Donald Trump. Let's help the Republican team. And, we're not going to be able to help the Republican team if we elect rhinos, Republican in name only. I don't know if you've heard that phrase before, but Republican in name only means that people that sometimes want to be a Republican and sometimes they're Democrats. And you never know what you're going to get. And, that's my feeling. And he is definitely going to be, Jerry Dyer is definitely going to be one of those people. He's going to be controlled by the unions. We can't afford to have a mayor controlled by the unions. That's just not good for the city. So let's go out there and let's get something moving and find a conservative Republican to run. And it's going to take somebody that doesn't have dirt under their skeletons or skeletons under their process, they're going to have to go out there and make something happen. Anyway, I got a note here that people are supporting Devin Nunes for the great job that he's done, and I concur with that. I knew Devin before he was congressman, and we worked together, and we definitely helped Devin get into office. Devin, he's done great things. The other thing, too, is in many local areas, there's a lot of corruption going on. Local, state, national, there's corruption going on. And, we got to keep the spotlight on the government and make sure that we get honest people in government and people that are not going to have controversies, so they could focus all their time on getting the job done and the people's job done. And we cannot just afford to let just anybody get into office. We got to make sure that they could focus and get the job done. And if they don't get the job done, for any reason they don't get the job done, what are we going to do? We're going to get rid of them and get somebody in there that does. Fire them. Let's fire the liars and fire the people that don't get the job done. And the best way to do that is to be involved. Talk to your family about politics. Talk to your friend about politics. And the only way that's going to happen is for you to get involved. So I'm very happy to be here and talking with you today and giving you my opinion and trying to rally the troops to victory. And I think it's very, very important that we can get that done. But I guarantee you it's not going to get done if you stay home and you don't talk about politics, you don't get involved. We're going to keep getting reelected these people that just are bad for America and bad for our local areas. And there's more people in this city, in the city of Fresno. There's a whole bunch of people here. And there has to be one good conservative Republican that can step up and get the job done for us. We cannot afford to have a terrible mayor in there. And I believe Jerry Dyer would be one. Jerry Dyer is a very powerful guy, but just because he's powerful doesn't mean he's going to be able to get the job done. So, one of the big things here, I just got a comment from Facebook. Get involved at local level, school board, city council, mayors, etc. I totally agree with you. We have to get involved. And, school boards are very vital. That's where teaching goes on. And anyway, when we come back from the break, we'll continue on our journey and our conversation regarding Jerry Dyer and what we should do about it. So thank you. You're listening to the John Estrada Show on Talk Radio 1680 KGED. Facebook users,
now
if
you're on Facebook Live, I noticed that you had it routed to the thumb drive. Yeah, when you're streaming, yeah, you can't do that. You gotta stream it to Facebook Live, and it's gonna automatically save. So later you can go in and retrieve that.
yeah, I wasn't saving it now. I'd taken that off before.
Oh, okay.
Before the show started.
I see that it was routed. I was like, well,
Yeah, no, I had that out before the show even started.
Yeah, but notice how I had to reset. I had to restart.
Anyway, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
Anyway,
so we're streaming now.
Good.
And you're recording. Okay, well, that's good.
Facebook, thank you, users,
And
friends.
just for the record, make sure you're streaming before you record. So you're streaming and then you hit record.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so you can do both at the same time.
Okay. Yeah, anyway, Facebook users, we appreciate your comments, and we really like to hear from you. So if you'd like to make a statement, or you can call in, 559-442-1680. We'd like to hear from you. It's very vital that we hear from you and what's going on. Yeah, there's a lot of corruption going on in the state polling, and we'll talk about that in just a moment.
Back to the John Estrada Show.
Thank you. Welcome back. We've got a great show going on here. We're talking about Jerry Dyer and what we should do regarding this next election for mayor. There'll be a lot of conversation, a lot of discussion about the future of Fresno and the direction and who's going to lead it. And my opinion is very firm, and I just don't believe that Jerry Dyer would be good for Fresno. I think he'll be a terrible mayor, and I think it's be a black mark against Fresno. Again, we can't afford that anymore. We got to be out there supporting true conservatives. I'm fighting for a conservative America, and in my own hometown, Fresno, California, it doesn't look good. You know, we have more Democrats here. And that means that we can't afford to lose in this next election cycle. You know, we have a big effort going on here to elect the next mayor, and we've got a lot of voters here that are Democrat, and all it's going to take is for us to nominate or support a candidate that has a lot of controversies. And during the tough election cycle, and this was going to be the toughest. We're going to have a tough election. And the person that gets to be the Republican conservative that's going to run, there's no room for error. They got to go in there and they got to run hard. And Jerry Dyer has not been tested. He's not run for political office. So all that stuff's going to come out about him. And that's going to reduce the voting people for him. There will be fewer and fewer people that will vote for him, and we will lose it. So do we want to take a chance and elect a socialist Democrat to the position? I don't think so. I hope not. I hope that we don't get a person like Jans or anybody else like that. You know, we want to get somebody in there that's going to do the job, that's conservative, that's Republican, and doesn't have any special conflicts of interest. You know, you got Jerry Dyer that seems like he's controlled by the unions, and to me, that's not a good idea for any mayor to be controlled by unions. You know, we have to do what's good for the city, and sometimes the unions have to work with us to make sure that we get the job done. So it's going to take a lot of effort here. So what do you think? 559-442-1680. I'd like to hear from you. I'd like to hear what you think. We're talking all this stuff and how I feel. I just don't think Jerry Dyer is capable of calling himself a conservative or a Republican. He's a Republican name only. You know, anybody that supports a Democrat for governor in the last election, that's ridiculous. That's bizarre. You know, and now he wants to represent the conservatives and Republicans after this last election cycle. He supports Antonio Vergosa. That's terrible. We had John Cox that we were supporting, and you know, people like Jerry Dyer, Republican name only. They allow situations where we will not get a winning opportunity there because they could switch. They could switch on us. They could support Democrat one day, support Republicans the other. We have to be consistent. You know, we have to stand firm on our principles. You know, what's good for Fresno is conservative. Being conservative is what's going to help us here locally, statewide, and nationwide. We must fight for a conservative America. You know, I'm here with this broadcast, supporting a conservative America, fighting for a conservative America, and it would be disastrous for us to get Jerry Dyer in there. So Jerry Dyer is going to announce this coming Wednesday, 11 o'clock, and I just sure hope we get another conservative Republican to run and win. We have to win. Jerry Dyer is not a conservative. Supporting Antonio Vergosa is a political blunder. People like Dyer cost John Cox the election for governor. You know, this is tragic. If Jerry Dyer does decide to run, which it looks like he is, he must resign. He must resign from his position as police chief immediately. You know, you can't be running for mayor and be police chief at the same time. It's conflict of interest. It's not right. You know, he needs to resign. He has to move on and run as an individual. And then we got to get a new police chief in before he becomes, or if he becomes mayor. We can't have that conflict of interest either. We're going to have a clean slate. We have to have a new independent police chief that's not tied into the old ways of Jerry Dyer. Jerry Dyer's ways do not work for the city of Fresno. We have to do a better job for our citizens. And if we continue this way, we will continue the tragedy of what's happening in Fresno. High crime rate. You know, you go to our next city next to us, Clovis, and you see how well their police department works. They don't mess around. They get the job done. It's safe in Clovis. Fresno, murders on the sidewalk, murders in alleys, murders all over the place. Just not cool. It's not cool for any family or kids to grow up in Fresno with that kind of situation. We have to get our crime under control. And I just don't see it happening with Jerry Dyer, especially as mayor. That would be terrible. So, you know, the other thing, too, is that if you have any dirt on Jerry Dyer, most likely it's going to come out. And so, you know, he's never ran for political office. He's never, ever ran for office, and that's... you have to do that. You have to be out there running for office and understanding and getting all that stuff out there. And if he didn't do it, it's all going to come out, the dirty stuff. He does not have experience. And there's a lot of Hispanics in the city of Fresno, and many of them don't like Jerry Dyer. There's a lot of blacks in Fresno, and they don't like Jerry Dyer. And so we don't have a lot of room for error. And so... we need a conservative Republican that's going to go out there and get the job done. I really do appreciate you listening to our broadcast today. It's been an outstanding broadcast, and I thank you for your time. We'll see you tomorrow, 4:05 p.m. We'll talk another good issue that's helping our local, state, and national fight for a conservative America. You're listening to the John Estrada Show on Talk Radio 1680, KGAD. God bless you. God bless America.